This video is for the do-it-yourselfers that want to change out your own liner. I'll show you the steps of replacing your liner, the important steps for the gaskets, repairing your steps, finishing the pool bottom, and grommets for the lights instead of using that putty in the lights, and a better way to resurface your concrete if you don't want to do the cool deck or tile or paint or whatever. You can use this Pebblestone. It turned out pretty well. And then a solution if you pull out your old liner and you see you have termites. I have a solution for that where it won't tear up your deck. You can treat for termites inside your pool, and it will be on the other side of the liner. It won't be on the liner side of the pool. I built this pool 17 years ago, and I got good life out of this liner. I bought a 30 mil liner back then. I used vermiculite for the bottom of the pool, and if you're going to build your own pool, I highly recommend using vermiculite. Do not use the sand and concrete mix, mortar mix. I mean, don't use that. Use the vermiculite. It costs just a little bit more, but it's well worth it. This was a Kafko pool, and the Kafko has now been bought out by Latham. Latham Pool now owns them. The kit was around $10,000 when I bought it. I think they're around $13,000 now. So I've got the kit was $10,000. I've got the fence that was $5,000. I did Allen block wall. I did a lot of concrete. There's a lot of concrete around here. This is like 1,700 square feet of concrete. So I did all that for about $35,000 back 17 years ago. Nowadays, that'd probably be a lot of money. So I'll show you all the steps I went through. If you have a pool controller like this, you'll have to go into configuration, hold these two buttons down until it unlocks, and then go over to filter, and go up, plus, and then over, and then flow monitor. You want to disable this monitor right here. If this is enabled, you're going to be turning your pump on every 15 minutes. While it's still draining, I already got the skimmer gaskets off. I'll work on getting the wall jet and the stairs, unscrew all those all the way around. So I'm using a non-submersible pump, sticking the hose down in the drain so it can get all the rest of this water out. And it is pumping pretty good, you can see right here. Here's the wall fitting. On the wall fitting, you're going to have a gasket here on this side of the vinyl, and this side here, there's another gasket right there. It's a rubber gasket. Now I have a poly wall pool. I think it's different for the metal wall pools. After you get all the screws out, just pull this one off. This one's gonna have a cork gasket all the way around. And there's one on the inside too. See, it has a cork gasket here, so we got to take all that off, scrape that off, and then apply a new one before we stick the liner in. Before you take your stair strips off, make sure you label like left side, right side, top, left, right, like I did on these, because the hole patterns are a little bit different. So tomorrow I'm gonna be putting these stairs gaskets on, the skimmers and all the other ones. And I bought new gasket material for the stairs. So I transferred the holes with a Sharpie. So I got a dot for all the Sharpies, for all the holes there. And then I'm gonna take this hole punch and just punch out each one so it lines up. And I'm gonna label this one right and left. And then we'll silicone those on tomorrow and put these strips back on to hold it in place while I finish the bottom of the pool. I got the holes punched out for the right side. Now I'm gonna do the left. Just match that up, twist it, pull it up a little bit, and that'll get that piece in there better. Oop. Move, dummy. All right. There we go. So you need to tear off the old gasket around the pool steps. Might take a little bit. Looks like they use double-sided tape or something for this, but you need to tear all this off. Put the new gasket on. This is the right side of the stairs. This is how brittle the liner is now. It just, when I went to cut it, it just like shattered. It just breaks now. But it's time to get rid of it. Use a little bit of goof off on here and then use a brush. That'll help get some of that sticky stuff off from before. Don't want to use too much on this because it is made of plastic. This is fiberglass with a plastic acrylic coating on it. I'm gonna try to do some cosmetic repair on my stairs, on my steps for the pool. I got this hairline crack here, but I don't think it's leaking or anything, but I'm going to epoxy it, and there's little cracks like here. And there was another one somewhere over here. I sanded them down so it's harder to see. So I sanded them with 80 grit and then 120. And then I'm gonna clean it with alcohol. And now I'm gonna use this marine weld, and it dries to a clear. So I'll mix this up on a paper plate and then spread it out over this crack here. And then this one, there's a few more. I've got like, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but all these bumps that come through. Everybody gets them on these kind of steps. There's really nothing you can do about them. You just got to live with them. So I'm going to live with them. And then some of them that broke through, I'm going to patch them up with this epoxy. Spray some out with alcohol to let it dry up. This is a two-part epoxy. It squeezes out two lines of it, and then you just mix this together. Once it's mixed, we'll apply it. It dries in like 5 minutes, so you have to work with it pretty quick. All right, down here. Now that I got the water out of the shallow end, I can continue working on the stairs. Here's the repair I did the other day. It's hard as a rock. Now when you go to sand these, I did this one already and this one, and a little bit of water is going to come out. There's going to be water coming out from the bottom here. It's seeping in through the back. I got all the things patched up. There's quite a few actually, but that's all right. So I'd rather have an ugly pool than a leaking pool, so that'll be okay. Can't do anything about these bumps over here. You just got to live with those unless you want to replace your steps. Well, we got the contractors back. They're scraping the pebbles, getting all the high rocks off. So I'm gonna continue doing this. I'm just gonna put a small amount of caulk around this. Just a small amount. All we're doing is trying to hold this thing in place while the vinyl is being installed. Just a small amount, just thin enough all the way around. Match up the notch on the gasket. Put that on, and we're going to temporarily put this face cover on. I got my drill set on 1, the lowest torque setting, and then just going to lightly screw it in and then do a hand tight the rest of the time. And we'll take this off before we'll take this back off before we put the liner in. This is just to hold the gasket in place for now. Go ahead and peel off this light gasket. We'll clean this up, put the new gasket on. I'm gonna put some silicone all the way around this thing, a light coat. Line up these holes with the screws there, and then just hold it in place, and then we'll just stick a few screws in there. Make sure you put the top side up. This is just to hold the gasket in place until we get the liner in. There's a good view of the cord connector for the light. I want to tell you about a better thing to do with the lighting this. Here's use a cord grip in there with a 1-inch thread, and then I think this is like a 1/2-inch cord, something like that. I'll try to put a link in the description, but use this instead of the putty and all that other crap that they do in there, because it's hard to get that stuff out. You can just unscrew these. These seal off good. This one's been in there 17 years. Just got some pollen on it, but it looks like it's in good shape. The rubber's still good inside, so I would recommend putting these in. So unscrew your drains, pull them off. They're going to have a gasket on the back side of this cover, and then there's going to be one down below under there. We'll have to clean it off, and you should have 2 drains if they have the new code. So, Same thing with the drain here. We'll just put a light coat all the way around. Do the same thing for the skimmer. Go around. Got the gasket on here already. I got the bottom strip put in on the steps. I used every screw because the plastic is kind of flimsy. Now I'm gonna work on this right side, and we're gonna have to, when I put this piece in down here at the bottom, we're gonna have to put some silicone in between there. So I'm gonna do that next. All right, this is the right side of the stairs. I got all the silicone on there. Get these started. Real quick. You're going to want to put all the screws in while you're letting it dry. Switch hands. All right, I took all the covers off, the light cover, the gasket's on there good now. It has only been about an hour, maybe two hours at the most. Got that one off. Got the skimmer cover off, that one, and the light down there. I still have to wait on that one to dry back there, and then I'll do the drains later because they're still wet down there.
Sounds
What the heck? Well, I got the hole liner out. The whole deep end looks really well. I'm just going to maybe straighten this line out a little bit, put a little curve in it, and this one. The shallow end, I got leak spots that were there, and there, right there on this transition. I'm gonna kind of round that transition over as best I can because I didn't like how sharp I had it. And then just various leaks. I just got to fill in these little divots. There's some heel prints in here I need to fill in. So that's where I'm at. So we'll be putting the liner in tomorrow. So this is the pool crete I'm using. This is a vermiculite cement mix, pre-mixed. I used this 17 years ago and it's held up pretty well in this pool. And they're saying to place 4 to 6 gallons of clean water per bag. Put about 3/4 of a gallon in so far. Stuff lays really easy. A friend of mine told me you could mix some Dawn dish soap in it. It'll go smoother. I didn't do that yet. I was going to try it without first. So I got my vermiculite base done. I tried to blend it in as best I could. I found that if you added a little more water, made it a little bit more soupy, that it worked better to trowel in. Since I knew I probably had termites, I had scheduled a termite control for my pool for this weekend. And of course they didn't show up for that. They just sprayed around the house. They didn't have all the stuff. So they said I'd have to drill through this brand new concrete here to do this. But I decided, since I have a polywall pool, I'll just drill holes around here. The liner will never see that. I'll put some caulk over it when I'm done, and hopefully that'll take care of it. I'm just using my garden sprayer, and then let's see where I'm at here, and then going in the hole, spraying it in. So we sprinkled a bunch of diatomaceous earth all around the bottom to protect it from the ants. All right, we got the liner in all the way around. We just gotta fix some of these wrinkles, straighten out a little bit. And then after we do that, then we'll turn the vacuums on and let it start pulling in, and then we'll start putting a little bit of water in and then put the drains in. All right, we got 2 vacuums going, one over there, and it's pulling in pretty nice. Oh, it just hit a spot where it can't suck anymore over there. We need to get these wrinkles out down here and over here, and we'll start filling it up. This is how we attach the vacuum to the pool. We just run it through the skimmer, down the wall. Don't go all the way down, maybe halfway. We use the old liner as the seal for the skimmer. And then for the steps, I showed you earlier about having the thing to hold the liner. Put some wood over it so it won't collapse. But then we put plastic around it and taped it up. That's how we did to keep the vacuum in the pool. And this actually turned out pretty good. It's all sucked in pretty good in the right spots. I got all the arrows lined up for that corner, the center, that corner. And it's coming in good on the shallow end. It's sucked in pretty good there. So we got our arrows in the corners and one over there. Now that we got the vacuum nice and tight everywhere, it's tight, we can do the drain here. So I'm on the main drain, just got to feel for the hole. There's a hole there, so right there. Make sure we're hitting the right holes, put that over it, and then we're going to stick this on and then screw it down. Once you feel for the 2 holes across from each other, then you're good to go. Feel all the way around. Now we can screw all the rest of the screws in. After you get them screwed in, just give them a little snug, hand tight, Once you got that on, then just cut the vinyl liner out all the way around. Don't slip. Once you got the vinyl cut out, and screw the cover on and start filling it up with water. Pushing some of the wrinkles out in the shallow end. It's the only place we had wrinkles. We're using a broom just to push them out, and that seems to work pretty good. Well, the vacuums and water have been running all night into the morning. It's about 8 o'clock this morning, 9 o'clock this morning. And so I'll keep running them until the water levels between 6 and 12 inches in the shallow end, and then I'll turn the vacuums off. I got about 10 inches of water in the shallow end, so I was able to turn the vacuums off and remove them. When pulling the vacuum hose out of the pool, make sure you push out so it gets it off of that gasket. You do not want to rip that gasket. I'm trying to get this vacuum hose out. There we go. Now I'm going to feel the gasket to make sure it's all good. Yep, it's all good. So when I built this pool 17 years ago, this strip right here for the bottom of the stairs, it had the holes in the plastic, but it was self-tapping holes, so we just screwed it in. This go around, I'm going to take some finishing nails and reach down behind the liner and put it in the holes in the beginning for the first hole there, and then the last hole, and then maybe one in the middle, and poke it through the vinyl so I know where the holes are at. So I need to line up all these holes correctly. So there should be, yep, there's a nail sticking out right there. I got just below the water line, darn it. So I can put this, get this way, this is the left side, poke that through, that nail is in. Line up. Yep. Okay. Well, the nail trick worked really well on the bottom here. So I wasn't able to put a nail down here. I just got one sticking out like right here. So this is where the hole is for this side. This side over here, I got one sticking out, but I'll have to push it. It's in right there. I got to make sure it's straight up and down. I got to make sure it's level before I push that one. So now I can put this one on, match that up down there, and it should line up with that. So I can stick a screw in there, and I should be able to hit all the holes just right. I'm just going to feel down here for a hole first. See if I can find it. Should be right where that lines up. Hope that's it. Yep. All right. Now I can do the rest. And very carefully cut along this edge. Do not slip. Go across the bottom next. And keep this for a spare for patching your bottom of the pool if you get a hole in it. I'm gonna cut that next. Now I can remove that, use that for patching, and then put the trim pieces on top. There we go. Okay. All right, those lined up.
doing this.
Well, I lost my footage on the skimmer and the outlet jets, but anyway, go around where the skimmer is and feel for the holes with your finger on the vinyl. Try to find the holes, the corner hole first. That's what I did. And then put your screw through. Make sure you got your gasket behind this faceplate. Then screw them in with a screwdriver. Go to the opposite corner, try to find that one, and then they all should line up. After it's all lined up, then this vinyl will be right here. Just cut it out all the way around. It'll be good to go. Couldn't find my footage for this outlet jet either, so here I'm gonna redo this. You've got these covers here, and they got these little indentions, and you got an indention in your gasket also. So just go around and feel for that indention. I think this one was on this right side, and then line up your gasket and your cover with that indention, and then pull it back a little bit and feel for the screw hole where it would be, and then start your first screw and then feel for the other side for where the hole is, and then start your other screw on the other side, and then the other ones just line up. If you have these drain covers right here like I have around the pool, before you put this Pebblestone down, you need to go through and pull them off and clean them out. There's a lot of stuff, especially after pressure washing. There's a lot of sand down in there. We got to clean it out. So in preparation for the Pebblestone, I got everything pressure washed now. It's all pressure washed. I got brand new skimmer tops. I raised them up about a 1/2 inch. Here's a guide to let me know I got a 1/2 inch. I also had to add some mortar around to fill in the hole. All the anchors for the loop lock cover, I got them raised to a 1/2 inch. And set, I got all brand new ones. The other ones were 17-year-old and they were all gummed up with stuff. And then for this drain here, this drain that runs along here, they're gonna cover that up with the Pebblestone, right? But the water will seep through. So I need an access hole. So I made I bent some aluminum, 1/2 inch aluminum, powder coated it, and we're gonna put that right here. And then I burnt this out with my laser and put some parchment paper down, and I'll have them pack some of that Pebblestone in there, and I'll use that as a plug to put right here. So I can access this and flush out the pipes if they ever get clogged up for some reason. As far as the Pebblestone, I had white expansion joints right here in the concrete. What they did was put a piece of aluminum angle iron, it's about a 1/2 inch angle iron, across for a divider. They glue it right on top of the existing joint, and then they spread the epoxy and stone right up to it. And then on the edge of the pool, they brought it right up to the coping edge. So I'm gonna try out the drain real quick. It's dry right now, so go up here. Crap. The drain is actually right here in this area. It's actually on this side. I'll just pour that much. It's not even a half a gallon. Should be coming out down there about now. Nope, not yet. There it goes. Just now came out. Hopefully I made this video detailed enough to help someone out with their liner install. I will try to answer any questions you have in the comments below. I'll try to put some links in the description, and I hope you like the video.